All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these steps. When you look at the directions, it says crease dashed lines face to face. So you can see these dashed lines, they're the dotted lines that you see. You want to put them face to face. So color on top of color and crease that down nice and good. So I use the outside of my fingernail to make a good solid crease. I'm going to fold it again, taking my time and make sure that that crease is really good. You can also see at the bottom of this how they match up. You could get a diamond or a triangular bottom. So your bottoms, if you look at that, because it's hard, you can't see what the color looks like inside or if you're on the dashed line. So just line up your paper so then you know that your dashed lines are getting folded in the right spot. They should line up nice and neat. And then just continue doing that all the way across. Even it's like, oh my gosh, there's one more. Yeah, there is. So just make sure that you're getting all of your dashed lines folded face to face, just like I'm doing in the video. I wanted to make sure that I'm going at normal speed to do this because I don't want anybody to think that this is a fast part of the process. This actually takes a while. You want to make sure that you get all your folds done correctly. The next step says, gently fold your paper on the diagonal lines back to back. So you'll see that there's diagonal lines going one direction and diagonal lines going the opposite direction. So I take my paper to the back, and now I can see where the diagonal lines are. So this step is a little bit easier. Crease that down. Again, fold it. They're getting a little bit wider, a little bit longer, the diagonal lines are, and then just continue doing that all the way throughout your project. Getting those diagonal lines folded one side, yep, and don't forget those small ones. They're going to get real small towards the end. And make sure that you've got every fold going one direction. It should twist or turn like this. So when I turn it over to the opposite side, do you have all your diamonds or do you have all your diagonal lines folded? You should be able to see that from the back. So now I'm going to do the same thing to my diagonal lines going the opposite direction. Creasing those lines on every diagonal line, taking my time to make sure that I'm not just folding it crazy. I need to make sure that each of those fold lines are getting folded on the line. Crease those really well. Okay, so the back of it should look like this. Let's take a look at the next step. Once you've got that, it says add glue on tabs marked glue and press together, forming it into a tube. Okay, so I'm going to roll my paper together and I want to match up those glue dots or those circles at the bottom, and you can see where it has glue marked down. I'm going to fold those together so that the design is on top of the area that says glue. We're just going to try that without any glue right now because I want to make sure that I can fold it like a tube. As you can take your tube, you're going to tuck it together like this. Nothing's been glued yet, so it falls apart, but you can kind of imagine what it's going to look like once the glue is set and dry. So let's do it. Let's take our glue bottle now and put it on top of our glue areas. Hold that together. Perfect. Set that aside, and while I'm just kind of holding that with one hand, wiping up any extra glue that's hanging out the outside or the edge of it, I'm going to take my glue now and go into the next section. I mean, my one hand can hold it, while the other hand glues it together. So now that I've gathered my glue onto the tabs that say glue, glue, I can hold 3 pieces of paper together just by spiraling it around. I thought to myself, I can either let this set up and start drying right now, or I can take my glue and glue down those tabs at the end that say glue tabs or end tabs. And I like to fold mine just a little bit so it can tuck into the area of the paper that is rolled together. So I've added some glue. I'm going to open that tuck, glue tabs, and just be patient with yourself on this. And now I'm going to hold it. Tucking that in, once again, be patient with yourself. And now I just have to have some dry time. I have to hold it together, give myself some dry time, and then I've actually stopped the video so you can kind of see what it looks like. I have a little bit of paper that's tucked outside, And I'm like, well, okay, let's just try it. Let's see if the rest of my pieces are stuck together and I can roll it together. See what my designs look like. So the 3 tabs that are glued together for my design are holding together nicely, but it's kind of popping out at the end. So I need to give myself a little bit more dry time on that, and I might add a little bit more glue. But I just kind of want to check my designs and see how the paper is doing. Again, be patient with yourself the very first time that you do this flextangle. When you start to open it up and have the design start to go around, the very first time your paper is not used to being folded. So give yourself, again, a little bit of grace, a little bit of patience, and, just kind of take a look at your designs and get your paper used to those fold lines, being folded in and folded out, folded in and folded out. I'm going to take a minute and add a little bit more glue to this section that keeps popping out. I don't want my project to pop out anymore, so I just need to give myself a little bit more time to let those pieces glue together, and I'm going to be patient and hold it till that glue dries now. Right here, it just keeps opening up. So I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the video because now we know what the end result is. We know what the end in mind is, and I just want you to have some fun with this project and just be patient with yourself while you're letting your glue dry. I think you'll be amazed at what you can do with this cool paper folding project. Thanks, everyone.